Hello, and welcome to the second to last episode of Beneath the Surface, Tabletop Tempest's first actual play in the TTRPG space. Our second to last, which I say with a smile and with some tears. But I am Kris, pronouns they, she, and I have been and will be your game master for this mini-series. My cast members here, both on and off screen, are either immigrants or a child of one, at least. And together, we have been spending the last few weeks bringing you a story inspired by Brazilian folklore, where my family's from, which explores the nuances of living abroad when your ancestry is located in a place in another country. But first, I would like my players in front of you to introduce themselves and who they are playing, starting with Clare.
Hello, my name is Clare. My pronouns are she, her. I'll be playing Carmen Pereira. Pronouns also she, her, and my playbook is the Star.
And next up, we got Danny.
Hey y'all, my name is Danny. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Myto. Pronouns they, any. They are the brain playbook. And of course, I would be remiss to not also introduce our little critter creature, bear, dog, cat, Orúno's favorite animal buddy, Stitches.
And speaking of Orúno, Victor.
Hello, everybody. My name is Victor, pronouns he, him. I am playing Orúno Munín, who is the doomed playbook, not at all foreboding. His pronouns are he, him as well, and everything is fine.
What outro scene? Next, we're going to pass it off to Val.
Hi, I'm Valiant, Dorian, and I do not believe what Victor is saying to me at this moment. I use he, him, his pronouns, and tonight I have the distinct pleasure of playing your favorite big brother, Gabriel Zhao, who uses he, they pronouns and is of the Scion playbook.
And
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. My name is Jay, or Nala. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm playing Gabriel's little sister. My character's name is Tamsyn Zhao, and she uses she, they pronouns, and I am the legacy.
So, next up, content warning for this game. If you have been with us this long, you know that the focuses are familial and generational trauma, loss and grief, rage, and lineage and stories. And those are all those are all the content warnings for this episode. But lastly, a huge thank you to both our sponsors and our partners. First off, as you heard the word playbook getting thrown around a lot, we are using the Masks TTRPG system, and I would like to thank Magpie Games for partnering with us and who has provided us some copies. This week we are giving away our last softcover, still in the plastic, copy of the TTRPG system itself. So please go check out our Twitter at TTRPG. At Tabletop Tempest for all the information, as the winner will be picked in under a week, and you will be getting this sent directly from me. Secondly, a huge thank you to Smoking Glue Guns, aka Whitney, for being our dice sponsor for the entire show. As you can see in Nala's screen, some of our players have gotten their own custom-made sets of dice, and also now on Claire's. But we did give away one of those, so congratulations. We don't know who it is right now because these are pre-recorded, but huge congratulations to the person who did win and whose shipment is probably on the way by now. Well, besides that, are my players ready?
No.
No.
Not one little
Everything's
bit.
fine!
Not one little bit.
I'm good. I only got
New
beaten
star
up.
who dis.
New star who dis! So, last we left all five of the Cuzzies off. You had traversed to the entrance of the cave that you first had come into, kind of pushed little William awake as he was getting the rope ready. Not everyone may have noticed, but if you stayed around for the post-credit scene, one of our lovely characters, Orúno, was hanging in the back when he felt a cough in his chest and coughed into his arm before looking up and seeing some spatterings of blood. But whether or not he chooses to share that will be up to Orúno, as William kind of takes this rope out of his pocket and begins handing it to each of you, and he takes you back to the way you had come, as you guys see from the distance behind you, the cave entrance that was once kind of this faded bright light, you see now beaming in the entrance. You all swim away with a beaming blue light of the Munín, with finally its breath breathed back into it. As you all swim away with William leading the front, and that light begins to dim as the light below you begins to get brighter as you inch closer and closer to Cidade dos Mares. And similarly to the place that you first left, you all arrive on the dock before that first wall goes up and the water begins to fall at your feet. As William, you see him go and take the rope from each of your hands before he starts kind of like muttering to himself off in the corner and trying to stick all of it into his pocket again.
That's never not going to be weird.
And you realize that there's no one there on the other side of the glass doors into the city ready to greet you yet, and it seems as though you have a moment of calm.
Where is everyone?
I don't know. It's awfully
I look-
quiet. We were only gone a handful of hours.
I
Right?
look at William. Where is everyone?
They're probably asleep. As he just says nonchalantly, like going back to putting the stuffing the rope in. Yeah, I mean, you guys have been gone for a little while, so.
What time is it?
Probably like 6:30 a.m., so only the old people are up.
Oh,
Okay.
Cool.
That usually means that we'll probably run into an elder. How are we feeling about running into an elder? Gabriel says between tired, exhausted groans and I think pinching the bridge of his nose a little bit. Or do we just want to sneak into our spot and fall asleep so no one bothers us for the next few hours?
I think we could all use the rest.
I agree.
I'm always down for rest and recuperation, but shouldn't we just talk about what happened, or is that for after sleep? We can definitely talk it after sleep, maybe even during our sleep, and kind of like looks over at Orúno, yeah, that was weird, right?
To
I feel like-
clarify, I meant we should go to our sleeping area, but I feel like we should talk about it. But at least if we are in our rooms, people will think we're sleeping.
That's true.
All about a debrief, but like maybe let's go somewhere more private.
Tom's gonna just start moving slowly towards that house that we were shown when we first arrived here, where we all have rooms and stuff.
I'll say you walk towards those glass doors and they open almost automatically. And it wasn't too far of a walk. You begin to remember, and William kind of like puffs out his chest a little bit to the front of the line, thinking like that you guys need some leading. And then his little legs just don't keep up fast enough for a moment, Tamsyn, as you with confidence kind of just not strolling past him, but strolling with the confidence that you know where you're going. Is okay. And he kind of slows down, the puffing of his own breath, like slowing as he's trying to re-regulate his breathing. And you guys walk through the town, and like I mentioned, you maybe see 2 or 3 seemingly elderly people just walking around, some people with bags with fruit in them, a lovely couple off in the corner of a park, like having a coffee. But it is quiet as you make your way back to the house and open it. No sound from anyone inside.
William, I'd say Orúno, when William sort of slows down, Orúno just stays at William's pace. And William, what happened while we were gone?
What do you mean? What happened?
It's
I took a nap.
Right. It's just there was a festival last we were here, and now everything seems very quiet.
Well, yeah, it's probably been a few days.
Wait. We were only in there for like max a few hours, right? Like I feel like my sense of time is a little like loosey-goosey, but it just doesn't feel like we were in there for a few days.
Yeah, the cave's crazy. The cave's like, me and some of the other kids used to call it like the Cave of Wonders, because it's almost like time just kind of stands still a little bit. But yeah, no, Irasima said she had told you guys.
Well, Irasima left out a lot of things that would have been like really great for us to know.
Like what?
Certainly not the strangest thing that we have witnessed in the past few days, I guess.
I suppose so. Still very jarring to return that way, though. Well, nothing I suppose we could do about it now. Let's get inside, let's debrief, let's... Cousin sleepover. I declare cousin sleepover.
I have baked goods, although they're probably not fresh anymore since it's been a couple days.
I'm gonna eat a lot of it.
You guys will see as you step into the house and the door closes behind you. You can kind of see just around the corner that there has been food, seemingly fresh, left out for you guys. Café da manhã, like they'll say in Brazil. There's a little morning breakfast. You see these small chewy cheese rolls that are made from tapioca flour and cheese, pão de queijo, fruits, tropical fruits, papaya, mango, bananas, and oranges. Some of the fruits strategically cut open just a little bit so that smell hit you as you walked around that corner. And as that smell kind of sits for a moment, you do smell fresh coffee with some milk held off on the side for you with little cups sporadically placed.
Food. Tom's gonna run upstairs to just grab the rest of the baked goods that I had brought. And I'll just bring them downstairs. I hand an entire box to Gabriel and I put the rest out.
Yes, that is the correct amount to be handing out. That's the correct distribution. As Gabriel grabs a blanket, has wrapped himself across his shoulders, has found a nice comfy cushion to sit on in like an area for the cousins, and with the box of baked goods has already begun nibbling again, like all of these little sweet treats.
You see Myto with a plate, and Stitches is the exact opposite, where Myto is placing like one piece of fruit per little quadrant. You just see Stitches arms filled with snacks, and we just take a look around at this house that we first started in, but it feels different. It feels both heavier and lighter. It feels the quiet is almost as noisy as the festival was. And they plop down right next to Gabriel, and it's like, so did we do what we needed to do?
I mean,
Yes.
piecing
Yes.
together what Irasima told us, I would agree with Orúno. I think we have.
I hope so.
Whether this is
I don't want there
whether
to be
this is,
anything else.
whether this is a continuing responsibility that, you know, they're going to... I mean, think about our family members, our parents. this is going to be a continuing responsibility, I think. And he takes another big bite of a sweet treat in front of him. I think we should speak our minds about whether we want to do that.
I think I'm still a little confused on why everyone was brought here. Could that... And Myto takes a breath with their eyes closed. Couldn't that have been done without us? I know it's of our family and the Milen, and there was a celebration for us, but we've seen what it can do. What's special about us? I mean, all of y'all are special in the way that, like, participation trophies should be given. I think everyone here, Myto takes a moment and looks over at Carmen. You know how you're really good at looking after yourself? Why do you think you were brought here?
I think Carmen has been sort of like vaguely dissociating. She hasn't touched the food, hasn't really been like listening to the conversation, and at the hearing her name kind of snaps back. It's like, well, I mean, isn't that kind of the MO of this family? Keep secrets and then let everybody else clean up the mess with limited information, limited context. I mean, look, I'm happy to be the only one that's like really pissed off, but as far as I know, like,
well, I'm
'cause
pissed.
didn't we just? Were you aware coming to this family reunion that we were going to go and? I mean, I feel like we just killed somebody.
Absolutely not. I thought we were gonna come. I thought this was just gonna be a normal family reunion where, it's just mildly uncomfortable, and there's gossip and lots of food and weird stares. That's the furthest.
And
I thought this was
like, not to be a diva, like, I'm always very concerned about taking all the oxygen in the room. I try to be like really mindful about that. And not like I expected a welcoming party, but like if you sent like maybe the youngest people in your family to go like commit murder in this dangerous cave with like dangerous magic snail monsters, don't you think someone should be here to like see? Well, not even welcome, just be here to help us kind of figure this out.
You guys
like
probably,
we've done this and now we just go home?
you probably hear from a very slow volume to a crescendo from Orúno. You start hear laughter, and you start to hear this like awkward sort of like I'm sorry. It's just everybody says you don't know how weird my family is. But I really think that if we were to compete right now,
we'd win.
And
we win.
He can't help
Yeah.
it. It's just all the feelings and all the emotions are just like melding into this absurdity. And he's laughing, but you can tell he still has all the triggers. It's just it's hard for him to do anything but in this moment.
I think Carmen's really pissed. I'm sorry. What's funny? Like, what's funny about this?
What was your life a week ago? 2 weeks ago? I'm not saying it's not funny. It's just I didn't know any of you existed. All right? I didn't know I had this much family. And then I'm told you too and you're gonna get to meet them. And I'm thinking, I hope they like me during dinner time. And now we are discussing that we used powers and are underwater and potentially send a family member to rest permanently. So, I'm sorry if I am laughing. It is not out of joy or finding it pleasant.
No, I get it. Sorry, I'm a little cranky. I'm a little cranky. I didn't mean to
Gabriel-
take it out on you.
Gabriel reaches out with his box of treats.
Carmen takes a treat.
Mm.
Eats a treat.
No.
And then I think as she's chewing, she like looks up at Myto. It's like, Myto, I know you started the one asking all the questions, but how are you doing?
Yeah.
Other than the fact that nothing makes logical sense here, physics doesn't make sense, none of my studies make sense. Other than the festival where I won all the plushies, I don't know. When we were down there, I don't know how to say it, and I don't want to sound like one of those people that make up things just to make themselves feel better.
Take your mind,
But
Myto.
I think we were all chosen for a reason, and I don't think anybody else could have done what we just did in the way that it was supposed to be done.
I do agree with you, Myto, in the sense of, as difficult as that was, no one had a greater right than you, especially, to see that through.
I don't think I completely understand. And Myto takes a second to put down their plate and look over at Tom. I don't know if it's worth putting ourselves in that type of danger. And Myto kind of reaches over towards your hand and grabs it if you let them, and it's like, what you did to save Gabriel, what you did to stop all of this, what if you couldn't handle it? What if fate just took another step and we lost both you and Gabriel? Things both make sense in the grander scheme of things, but we didn't know that things were gonna make sense.
I don't know. In that moment, I wasn't really thinking. All I could think about was him.
Gabriel
wasn't-
smiles sadly at you.
I wasn't thinking about myself or my safety or anything. I don't think I've ever made a decision without thinking like that before.
Does it still hurt? Gabriel scoots a little closer to you, and you see his hand hover around the side of your face that has the new lightning scar.
I don't know. And Tom, I think, has been feeling very numb. I think ever since the whole ordeal went down. But I think now that she's finally getting a chance to sit. She can feel some sort of like tingling sensation all over her body. I think the scars are largely on one side of the body versus the other side, but it's like all over her arms is these tiny little fractals of lightning. And I know last episode described them as white. I actually looked it up, and the scarring is actually darker than your skin tone, so it's darker lines everywhere. And I think without like just very slowly, she just like leans into your touch, and you can feel her skin, and it's textured, but I don't think Tom like flinches or anything, but you can definitely feel like the skin is very textured now.
Gabriel doesn't linger on his touch. He instead, like any comforting elder brother, loosens the blanket that he's wrapped around himself and crosses it across your shoulders, so we're both sharing this blanket and sitting in close proximity with one another.
She, I think, just leans her head on your shoulder and then just gestures to the rest of the baked goods on the table for the other three of you, and she says, please take some. I cooked these.
They're very
And
good.
if it's been days, I don't know how well they kept up, but we took the good Tupperware, so.
You see Stitches with 2 of the baked goods in each hand and 1 cheek already full. And they just kind of look
Perfect.
Like Carmen walks over to get one of the baked goods and like looks at you, Tom, and says, well, you know, for what it's worth, I think the scars look fierce.
Thanks.
Orúno probably takes a couple of the treats and looks for William to offer him one.
And you see that he's also mouth stuffed. Like, as you look up, you kind of see that he was near Stitches, like got the same idea as him, but he's got both of his cheeks.
Orúno just has a
Hey.
moment where it just goes, just so you don't miss them.
Hey, William, could you grab me a mango slice?
And he goes to try to say yes, and as he does, he like chokes on chokes on his own food for a little
Careful.
bit. Running with food in his mouth as he goes and like grabs one of the mango slices and runs back.
So I imagine it's a mango that has been peeled and then a popsicle stick has been stuck in it, and then you can just eat it.
There you go.
And so Tom just starts nibbling on a mango, a whole mango.
What do you guys think happened next?
At that question, Carmen starts looking around, maybe into like other rooms. She's looking for a drink.
I have a quick above table question. Just so I can recall
Yes.
everything. Who amongst us had pieced together that Yara is indeed Ariel? Because I know that I out of character did, but I don't think Gabriel in character did.
I
So,
know
I'm-
Carmen, Clare didn't. But
Yeah, Jay didn't catch that either.
but like Carmen might have. She's not stupid. Like, and she clocks like I think she's inherently suspicious of everyone. So I think she might have clocked it. Whether she cares about that in like the larger scheme of like everybody's wrongness, I think remains to be seen. But I think Carmen clocked it, even though Claire's stupid head did not.
You're not debating whether Orúno, because of all the memory stuff.
Yeah, you had a lot of memory stuff, so I'm just trying. The reason why I ask is it will change how Gabriel phrases this next bit. Whether it's just we in general need to piece answers and maybe do a new generation reprimand for how that whole situation was handled. Versus like, hey Myto, about your mom. So I was just trying to like above table piece together what that repositioning was going to look like.
Yeah, Myto would not know or really care at this point. I don't think there has been a situation where it would have even come up that Myto assumed that Yara was her biological mom. So,
okay. In that case, coming back into the scene, at that question, Gabriel looks to everyone and just says, well, I personally want to I want the whole picture. We have pieces of the picture. I want which clearly denote a meaning, but I want to hear it from everyone's mouths. I want the full picture. And once I have the full picture, I think still regardless what happened was cruel and unfair, and I want to make that clear. If no one else wants to join me in that endeavor, that's a-okay. We've gone through enough already.
I'll join you.
I think we're
There's a knowing smirk that comes out of Gabriel when he hears you say that. And I think you Carmen, you especially see like a slight mischievous look that he flashes over in your direction.
Carmen's just seething in a corner. Yeah, I'll come with you. I got words.
So by the whole picture, do you, Naren just wanted Ariel to know that he loved her. I still don't, logically, it does not make sense how an emotion of love caused all of that. I don't understand why any of this has had to happen. And you're right, we need to see the full picture, because what I'm seeing, I don't understand why our family, and you see Myto drop their head, and almost in like embarrassment, it's like, this is one situation that I don't understand.
And I think that's entirely the case and not a failing on you, though, Myto. I know you've mentioned it a few times this conversation that you don't understand. That's not a failing on you. This is a mind-boggling predicament, intergenerational predicament that has gone on this far. And we have, like, as you said, we need to sit, especially the elders, down and ask the key question of why did it have to be this way? Why was this the resort? Why no half measures? Why was this the path that was taken? Right?
I think we gotta go ask that old witch.
This is Valiant Dorian laughing, not Gabriel, because Gabriel would be silent in this one, but I just find it. I love the beef that you have in your scene.
We got beef. She sucks.
You see Orúno just kind of go, all right, let's go ask them. And you see him stand up.
And Nala had their hand up.
Yeah, I pull out my phone. Do we have service here now?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
I think during this conversation, Tom pulls out her phone and she checks for service, and sort of was staring very blankly at my open text thread with my mom. But no service. And I think Tom had like the text bar tapped with the keyboard up, was going to type something, and then just kind of silently just shakes her head and turns the phone back off. And if everyone's getting up to go, I think she will follow.
Okay. You stand up, Orúno. Everyone starts following your lead. Where are you going?
I'm actually going to go outside. And it's that thing of stepping out, looking around. Whoever is nearby, ask for, the Irasima and the Sandra and any of the elders, the people that we know have been introducing us to this place. Ask for their whereabouts, and whatever direction they point, that direction he'll go.
And you see like a lovely little, you're starting to see some younger people come out. You see a couple that looks like both of the women are in their like 40s, and they tell you that they don't know where Irasima is. They haven't seen her in a few days, but Sandra should be home at the library.
Library sound good enough for everybody?
Yeah, to start.
Right.
Okay.
Less scary. We'll build ourselves up to Irasima.
You guys make your way, and it's not that hard, even though there are some staggering buildings in this city. The radio that stood right next to the library has this point to it that sticks out amongst the other buildings, and so you're kind of able to use that as a point to follow, or start to follow, and you meander your way before you turn around the corner and see the grand radio tower in front of you with just a small little honest shack next to it.
I think Orúno is going to approach the front door, tap it a couple of times.
Carmen, your polite tapping, comes up and starts banging on the door.
You hit it one time and it swings open.
Carmen.
And you see Sandra in her wheelchair like doing some dishes like next to the sink. And you see with the loud boom, she flips her head around and drops the plate, which shatters on the ground. As she grabs her chest and looks up. Oh my god! Oh, why didn't you just knock the first couple? Oh, that was my good china. I didn't even... Here, no, you, I see you with the fist up. She's pointing at you, Carmen. You, the broom in the corner. You come help me clean this, please.
Oopsie, I'm really sorry about that. Sorry about that one. We're actually just passing through.
Yes,
looking
broom,
for Irasima.
broom, very nice, broom, please. Broom.
Yeah.
And she's trying to like lean over the side of her chair to pick up.
Orúno would like to attempt. Orúno would like to attempt to use a psychic construct broom and butler.
Okay,
Psychic butler and broom.
Unleash your power. This is the funniest way of unleashing your powers I've seen. I really hope this works. This would be really funny if it didn't, but...
I really want it to work.
That's a 10.
Okay, with a 10, you all of a sudden, Carmen's starting to say, no, I got something to do. And you see Sandra kind of leaned over as this kind of flash of light kind of forms an outline of a brush and a broom. No one holding them, just the two starting to sweep up all of it together before picking it up and it going. Like, you see Orúno kind of lead it over to the trash can before throwing it away. Oh, well, good thing I have more. As you see her go and open up like this tiny little desk, and there's just like, it looks like 30 to 40 of those exact same plates. As she pulls one out. Okay. So, how and you see her face kind of shift. Please sit. Please, over at the table. And you see like some like I don't know what the English word, pastels. It's kind of like my brain won't translate today. But you see a lot of like croissants and stuff like that all over the table. Some
Like
bread
pastries.
and butter.
Pastries?
Yeah, but it's like a specific kind of pastry. It's not
I know
like
what you're talking
things you go to. Yeah, you know. It's like a deep fried thin bread pastry.
Yeah.
But that is a good word. But yeah, she just kind of motions over as she's putting the last plate away.
Tom goes to sit immediately, and I think like she's not slouching, but she definitely just seems very mellowed.
I think Gabriel shares a look with Carmen, and I think that look can only translate to, let's hold fire and see what happens.
Carmen like goes over with the
Just
group,
a
but she's
little
not
bit.
gonna sit down. She's standing.
Mhm. And he, as he walks by you to sit next to Tamsyn, he's just like, just a little while. Let's just see where this goes. He'll sit next to Tamsyn and pats the area next to him for Orúno or Myto to come in and sit next.
Very similar to the first time they were in this room, only different energy. Orúno also stands, just like it did the first time around.
I think this time, instead of going straight to the table, Myto has taken some time to look at this, like, because this is like a shifting library, right? This is where all the knowledge is held in our...
Oh, yeah. What do you mean by shifting, though? I might just be splitting hairs on that
Or
one.
like our family's history can be pulled out of anywhere, right? Like, this is like a magical-esque library.
No.
Oh, no.
It just looks like a regular house, but based off of your last interaction and how smart Myto can be, you can deduce she is the library. Like, her brain is the library.
Yeah, Myto takes a lingering moment to just kind of like look at the house and like not noticing any big scientific text or anything like that, and grabs a seat and rudely, without mentioning Sandra or anything, just you hear them exclaim, "Okay, so we did it. What if we didn't do it?"
And you see that same kind of shift in emotion that she had before when she had kind of told everyone to sit down. Not so much a shift because she was trying to hide something, but a shift from the fright of seeing her door thrown open to, okay, well, now she knows what she knows and you know what you know. And so you see her wheelchair kind of move on its own like it did before she's seated. One of the heads of the table before William comes back into view like last time and kind of just crawls up onto Sandra's lap, this time sitting there. And she pours herself a little cup of coffee. I usually have the answer, but this time I didn't. If you had asked me what was in that cave or what you would have had to face, I would have been a nice story based off of what I knew. But based off of what we saw in the Colosseum, I think you probably know more than I do right now.
But that's not how experiments are run. There's a control, you do what you need to do, and you compare it to what you don't know. how do you throw us into situations like this? What if we couldn't do it? Did you know that we could do it?
You all were specifically chosen to come help, but I don't think everyone had the full picture. I don't know if you encountered any of the animals
You hear
while you
Myto's
were there.
voice rise. I look at Tom. Look at your family.
Yes.
Things could have gone awry, and then you see Myto shift again and head down towards the table. What if we didn't do it? What if we failed? What if we all died?
And you see a look on her face where it's the furrowing of the brow brought all of the wrinkles together, and you see just a look of dismay across her face. Not a dismay in outside things, a dismay of, I don't know. As for the first time, you see the least amount of wrinkles as every muscle in her face softens. And she looks down and puts down her cup of coffee and kind of pushes it away. Myto, I don't know. I don't know who may know. But I have a feeling, and she kind of ruffles the hair on William's head and puts her nose to his for a second. I have a feeling you all aren't the only people that secrets have been kept from. And when they're kept from the person who is supposed to be keeping all the secrets, she says, really just ruining his hair. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. And now I don't know what else maybe people aren't sharing.
Well, I feel like this is just like suggestion for the group. Maybe the first thing you can do is stop speaking in riddles, right? You mentioned secrets. Secrets are kept from us, and we had to kill someone down there, and a bunch of us could have died. I almost got killed by a magic 12-foot snail. Okay? That's really not what I expected to happen at the family reunion. And you're already talking about other secrets. So forgive me if I'm being a little terse, but would love cards on the table honesty right now. Because we just risked a hell of a lot.
It feels as though that we are instruments to further perpetuate family secrets and dynamics that are clearly not working. And I understand that you may not have all the answers. And Gabriel, I think, is like deeply empathetic to her particular situation right now. She clearly doesn't have the answers we're looking for. She's clearly not the person we should bite the head off at this moment. But there is, I think, like a very vulnerable honesty that's coming out of Gabriel, where he says, we not only had to send someone down there, we had to send a family member. And it feels like whatever happened to him shouldn't have even happened in the first place. Every domino avoidable.
He was in pain because of us.
Not because of you. You had nothing to do with
you're
it.
right. You're right.
Don't.
But he was down there in pain.
There are things your parents did that you should not have to deal with. the aftermath of. I don't really get to talking with them very much, she says, she kind of waves her hand in the air, and for the first time, it almost looks like it waves through water for a minute before coming back. And, the people don't really come down to visit. But in the past, it was always specific. Generation after generation. If something's wrong with them at land, someone comes, and it's almost always been bugs up until about, 15 years ago. And she holds out a hand towards you, Orúno. Can you show me what happened?
Orúno looks at the hand, thinks about this for a moment, and then looks at the group. And then Orúno, instead of grabbing the hand, you see him turn toward the nearest wall. And everybody sees that he just has a moment of he's staring at the wall, shaking his hands. It looks like he's, somebody about to attempt something that they don't know if it's going to work. And his hands raise, his tattoos glow, and he actually attempts to use both his psychic constructs and memory manipulation to create a translucent screen in the room for everybody to see what they went through. I can't hear you.
Yeah, no, I'm unmuted and then muted myself in the same click. Roll Unleash Your Powers, please.
Don't help me now, precious.
Orúno, I swear to Christ.
Remember your conditions.
Luckily, I don't have that one. 8?
8? Okay, so you either take in condition or I tell you how it's unstable or temporary.
I'll let you tell me.
Which conditions do you have?
Everything but hopeless.
Okay. You all see these projections. You hear just a huge inhale and a grunt as Orúno's body flails for a moment as if it's about to faint. Before on the screen, you start to see flashes, quick double speed of everything you guys just went through. From seeing Carmen lean down to grab the neuter branch to getting thrown into the wall, to Gabriel being sucked into this projection of Miriam's dome, to that room ending and fading out. And you see everything that you guys just went through with Naren, from Gabriel once again almost passing out in this circle of electricity going at the speed of light around them, to Gabriel coming back and being tended to, and Myto, Orúno, and even then Tamsyn helping together to pass Naren. But before we see the last breath from Naren, the projection almost shatters. You don't hear it shatter, but you see it as Orúno falls to the ground and starts coughing up specks of blood.
Carmen goes to try to catch
Orúno.
him.
Yo.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay.
You're bleeding, and not because we just almost died. You're bleeding for something right now.
It's fine.
Something happened in there?
No. I mean, what didn't happen?
I think Carmen looks at Sandra and is like, "What did you do? What did you do to him?"
And she wheels herself back as she kind of goes up near you, Orúno. And if you allow, she's going to pull at your shirt.
Mhm.
And she's gonna see what she sees and kind of wheel herself more towards you as you sit back on your legs. And now she's a little bit closer to you. You're pushing yourself too hard for what you can do.
What does it mean? Orúno, what does she mean?
He's having, and she doesn't break eye contact with Orúno as she speaks in response to that. He has the same side effects that his brother William did. If you keep using these powers, they will kill you.
So you're telling me that we all got gifted powers, and the gift that Orúno got is going to kill him?
If he exerts himself too much. And you see for a moment that the face that you didn't notice before is now prominent as William is now no longer seated on Sandra's lap, but had jumped off of it when she wheeled himself over, and is now just like looking from the dining room table over at you, Orúno.
Orúno finds William's eyes and is just looking at William.
And you hear Sandra's voice kind of from the side. It should not have done that, but some people's bodies do not react well to the Melen, and if you overexert yourself... Have you bled before?
Right after we left the cave.
Why
Anything.
didn't you? Why
It's
didn't
just
you?
a cough.
Yeah,
Brother.
Tom turns towards Sandra and is just staring at her, I think in a little bit of disbelief with like a hint of simmering anger. And Tom just says, "You are being way too calm about this."
Is there a way to reverse it, bringing him to the healing house? Obviate whatever damage he's done so far and reduce his exposure. Certainly that does something, right?
There are plenty of ways. He will be fine. There...
Can he give the powers back?
You're lying, Sandra.
What do you mean?
Orúno.
How do you know that?
Assess the situation.
Who?
Orúno.
All of us? Or
Just Orúno because of what he said.
Totally just
Oh.
threw that in there
Mm-hmm.
intuitively. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, this is great. This is great.
Probably not. We'll see. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, bear with me. Bear with me.
I'm so stressed.
Minus 2. Okay. We'll see. I got a -1 on this. That's a 10.
Okay. So you can pick 2 of those questions to have me as the GM answer, or you can come up with, you can make your own.
Two questions.
Mm-hmm.
What is really going to happen to me? Will there ever truly be a cure?
I'll give you a chance to edit your second one. What does cure mean? What's the real question there?
Will there ever be a way to protect someone from suffering the fate that William and I have?
Okay. And remind me the first question one more time. Sorry, I was writing it down.
What is really going to happen to me?
So you ask those questions and you don't verbalize them. You just say like, Sandra, you're lying. But the fear behind that question, you feel you have in your head as you hear Sandra's voice in your own head. As you hear, I know things may sound like riddles, but sometimes answers to questions that aren't specific can be vague. You are going to be fine, but you have a choice. As far as being able to protect other people, yes. In fact, that's what Ariel was trying to work on all those years ago. Trying to find a way to reduce the amount of Milen used, but no one wanted to listen to her. You know what happens with family when majority feel a certain way. And you, I was gonna say, you begin to feel almost like her presence in your brain disappear.
Orúno actually responds out loud, looking at her, as he just says, actually, no, I wouldn't know. I didn't know I had a family after all. But he says, but, and he sort of gestures to the room to their cousins. This bunch is a good bunch.
And Gabriel smiles, and I think he was pretty close to you, and I think he, if you so allow it, squeezes your shoulder a little bit in reassurance, in brotherly reassurance, and he says, yeah, and we found our way through enough challenges, but we'll find our way through this one too. I mean, good thing Sandra caught it. We'll deal with it, and you'll be right as rain.
You see, Orúno has a moment, looks at you, sort of taps your hand, gives you a weak smile before his eyes kind of go back to Sandra. I think one thing at a time. You said you're supposed to know everything here, and secrets were kept from you, just as they were kept from us. So, in the most Carmen way that I can say, would you point us to your manager, please?
Okay, hold on. I can't even hold it. Did Carmen just get Karen'd? Okay. I'm coming back.
Great.
I'm coming back. Dang.
You broke me. I've been
Yeah.
sitting here looking sad and depressed.
I've got sad music on like playing, and then I hear that and I'm like, well, that's not the vibe. That who is your manager? Okay. Old lady. And she
Old lady.
Old lady.
Gotta get back into it.
Not this character-centric exercise of old lady.
Old lady.
Old lady.
This show's
Keep
gonna
this
have a
in.
blooper reel, right?
Whoever's editing this, keep this in.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you ask who to talk to, and she kind of looks between all of you. It's a mix of who knows the most and who will tell you the most.
They won't tell
Um,
us.
Can be very convincing.
Especially her.
I
And
like sparkle a little electricity.
You begin to see her mouth something and then almost swallow it back. Yada would be the most willing to share. I think.
That's a start.
Any suggestions as to where we can find her?
Knowing that women, she probably is waiting on the beach with fruits and food and a change of clothes.
Everyone in
Yes.
this family with the fucking fruits. Be so fucking for real with us. What were you gonna say? In the effort of like no secrets. Secrets hurt people. Do you know what I mean? And what were you gonna say?
And you see her pause for a moment before looking almost sheepishly from Myto to the wall that the projection was still on before coming back to you. I was going to use her other name, Yara. Sorry, that's my bad. I meant to say Ariel because I had already said Yara. She would tell you that she was about to say Ariel.
Well, should we go eat some more fruit? Talk to this lady?
Gabriel
Right.
has such a complicated expression on his face.
Somebody said that Hiroshima has not been seen in a few days.
Well, that's because it's been a few days since you guys were gone, so she went probably back up to let them know that you guys had gone, and now is coming back to help you guys go back up.
She will be coming back.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I guess.
And you see her shirt kind of get pulled off to the side as she kind of just leans down and starts talking to the air. What do you want?
Was it? Do you think now's a really bad time? Everyone seems to be in a really bad mood.
I don't. William had made you. What did you make them?
I made them. It's like jewelry. I think that's what it's called. I'm not really sure. I don't know if Carmen's gonna like it. She seems a little bougie, but
I'm sure. Okay. He seemed to have make you jewelry as you see him kind of come back with like his hands covering. You can kind of see beads sticking out of like in between his tiny little like 6-year-old like hands, and he's looking. If that's okay, as he starts to hide behind the wheelchair again.
It's beautiful. You made this?
And you hear him not very quietly kind of look at Sandra as he now proudly steps around the wheelchair.
see, I'm learning to read the room.
Just with this newfound confidence that everything went well. And he goes, I made you guys the bracelets. And they kind of look like, if any of you guys have seen the little candy that people make at raves, where it's got like these little blue and purple beads with like words written in them, and he's got just a bunch in his hand.
I made one for each of you when you guys were sleeping after the festival the last time.
I did it. I totally didn't stay up all night. As he walks very quickly away from Sandra.
Who wants their bracelet first?
Oh my god, me! I feel like or a little bit of old Carmen comes at me. Oh my god, it's like we were like at a Taylor Swift concert or something, and you made us little friendship bracelet. Me. She puts her hair wrist out.
Okay, they might be a little too big or a little too small. I didn't really know how to gauge it, but in this one, and he like kind of puts a bunch of like the rest in his pocket, and he takes out one that's got these purple and pink beads to it, and he kind of pulls it apart and puts it on your wrist and lets go, and he goes, "This one, I mean, I guess it kind of goes with the times." This one's called the Secret Keeper. Cause that's what you are, cause you're really bad at keeping secrets. But it seems like it might work in your favor soon. Yeah, get him, cousin. And you see his eyes kind of light up as he says that word, looking at you for the first time. We were cousins. I should have made those bracelets. As he kind of stomps over to the next person.
Before he does, Carmen just leans in and gives him a little kiss on the cheek. Thanks, cousin.
And you see like just these little patches of red. Yeah, no problem, cousin. You got it. As he scurries. Who would have been standing next to Carmen?
I think it might have been Gabriel because we got up for the fact that Orúno just coughed out blood, so Gabriel would be there. And Gabriel gives William just this really, really like warm brotherly smile. What do you have for me?
I don't really know if you're gonna like the word, but Sandra taught me the word because I'm learning. This one, and he kind of just puts it on your wrist. The Protector. But you see he's not announcing the adjective before, where yours says the Fallible Protector.
Oh. I think there's a deep-throated chuckle that comes out of Gabriel as he reaches his hand and wrist out for William to put it around his wrist. And he says, "Some fine handiwork, cousin."
I really practiced. You took a lot of punches in the Coliseum, and
sure
I ruined a bit of my nails. I have a hangnail, look! And he like holds up his middle finger to you, just
Mm,
completely unaware of what it means societally, but like, look!
yeah. Sounds like sounds like we need to bring a nail clipper and quickly snip that out.
Oh,
And he
no,
says
no,
that
no,
in
no,
a
no, no, no.
he says that in a very mischievous way, the very elder brother, like, I know you don't like it, but I'm gonna suggest it.
Very good, enjoy your bracelet. Scurries off. Tamsyn comes up to you.
Yeah.
I like to think we had, as the adults say, a moment in the Coliseum. Because you're not very good at believing in yourself, but I feel like you've gotten better. Also, your marks are really cool. They're kind of close to mine. And he like pulls up his, and it's the same markings you've seen on Orúno. But now he's like, it's like the same. But here. And he kind of reaches into his pocket and pulls out yours that has these yellow and blue beads. Gabriel's yours would have had brown and blue beads. As you look, and yours, he kind of places on your wrist, and you see that it has written on it, "The Inspiring Believer."
That's so cute. I'm looking in my pile to see if I actually have any that are yellow and blue, and I don't think I do, but I have all of these.
Oh, and I love that though. It's so cute.
I have these two. That's yellow and blue.
That's close enough. That tracks.
Close
As
enough.
he just places it on. This one's like a perfect fit. Go me.
They do fit perfectly, thank you.
Thanks for saving me that one time.
Of course.
I was scared. As he turns on a heel, and I wasn't scared at all.
Tom wants to offer a hug.
I almost feel like, just for the sake of it, you go in for the hug as he's turning on his heel, and you just say screw it, and you kind of like lean, and he sees your hand coming in, woo, as he turns back around and kind of goes into the hug.
And Tom whispers in his ear, I was scared too.
And you see these like big brown eyes open as he goes like this.
And Tom lets him go, and just the smallest smile returns to her face, and she offers him like the tiniest playful, like a little wink.
And he, in a child's way, goes to wink back at you, and just both eyes shutting as he goes over to Myto now. He pulls out a little black and blue bracelet as he holds it out for your wrist.
Myto's still sitting at the table and did not move when Orúno had fell. And you see Myto just kind of like wipe away some tears, and it's like, "Oh, you made me one too." And Myto leans in. Just so you know, if you made me one, you have to make Stitches one too.
I already made Stitches one.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
And he, as he places it on you, and yours has an extra little one. It says, and yours in black and blue, it says the keen eye, with almost like this like third eye bead on it as well. As he pulls out a very small one that could like realistically fit on like a pinky, and he kind of does this. I made one for him. It's got like 4 black and blue beads, but I made another one in case he grows into it. Which he pulls out like a bigger one that's more like, it looks like toddler arm size, and he hands you he holds onto the black and blue one, the tiny one, and hands you the one for him to grow into. And in that one it says cutest squirrel, and just hands that to you. And then Stitches, here's yours.
And Stitches, you see Stitches do kind of a couple laps around William and almost crawls up behind William's back and like puts their little paw through it. And then without a beat jumps over to Myto's shoulder and like nudges their head and wears the other one like a necklace.
So he's like clapping almost just for the animal doing tricks.
Oh, he's the cutest squirrel. I want a squirrel pet one day.
Well, he's not really quite a squirrel, but
He's
you
not a
did your
squirrel?
best.
Well, oh no, what is he? I can make another bracelet really
No,
fast.
it's okay. He's not a squirrel.
No, really, what is it?
What is he?
What is he?
I've been very curious about Stitches as well.
Dog.
So did you make Orúno a bracelet?
I did.
Don't let him
Does
change
everybody
the
wanna
subject,
focus on
William.
We're good with the current topic of conversation.
Yeah, William's just like staring, like his eyes kind of shaking a little bit.
No more secrets.
A pug! No, his fur's too long.
Definitely not a pug. Stitches is one of a kind. And I think that's the best way that I can put it. Not really an animal. Smarter than most humans. Able to do some really cool tricks. Modifiable.
Are you Frankenstein? I
Are you
never
the-
read the book, but like, if that's a monster, but like not a monster, cause like a doggy, but like a squirrel dog, but he's not really human. Did you make him?
Myto, did you make him?
I
Oh, that's what it is, huh?
I didn't make Stitches. Stitches was always meant to be. And you just see Myto darting eyes back and forth at Stitches, and I didn't make Stitches, but I also wouldn't say that I didn't help get Stitches to where he is today.
Okay, this one, and you just see little William, like, now almost like his head wobbling with all of this confusing information. He gives a little point to Carmen and goes, well, that's one for you, secret keeper. My head hurts. I don't know. Okay, Frankenstein. Just kind of like waddles away from you, side-eyeing Stitches now off to the side. I try to make yours really cool, brother, but I don't know. I just did it from the heart. And you see this one is all blue with like this crystal blue color, all of the beads as if it's like the Milan.
Orúno takes it from William's hands, but his attention is like he takes it, but after taking it, it's just a follow-up, like trying to embrace him.
You embrace William in this hug. And you aren't, it's not that you're out of control or you're in control, but you kind of get, as you can recall having done this multiple times before, a flash into the past. As you see the little William in his room putting together these bracelets. And you see that he, like, on these, like, pseudo crayon, these crayons are made out of seaweed, and the paper is this, like, flimsy piece of bark, but he's, like, kind of drawn what he believes you to look like from an artist's perspective. And we're looking at a very 6-year-old stick drawing, but lots of hair. And you see he's putting these beads on, and he's like, I could have showed you all these really cool places, and so that means I need to start making, now that I know that I have a brother, I need to, you see, I'm looking at you. Calling you Orúno feels weird. Anyways, brother, when you come back here, you're gonna be like all old and wrinkly, and you're not, are you gonna remember me? You'll remember me. And he starts like putting all of these like bracelets together, and he gets to yours, which you haven't looked at your bracelet before hugging him, but you see it in this memory as you see him finishing yours, and it says the bestest brother ever. And he's tying it, and he just, yeah, it'll be great, and I think you'll love this. And you see him begin to get choked up as he's kind of just holds this bracelet in his hands and looking up at his little caricature of you and back down, and holds it in one hand as he goes and grabs the caricature of Bark, like just plopping onto his bed. You having had no idea, you were in Tamsyn's dream while this was happening just a few nights ago. And he plops on his bed that's next, the room next to your guys's, and you see him hold the two to his chest. And you hear a little sniffle. I'm really gonna miss you. I hope you don't forget about me. I don't think you'll forget about me. But if you do, I forgive you. But if you don't forgive me and you remember, I can take you back to the cave and we can play hide and go seek, because now it's safe. And I can show you like my favorite spots for the sea urchins. And you know, you might, you know, if you can still move. I think the old people, because you'll probably be here when you're old. But we can do all those things. It's fine. It's fine. And you just see him, tears in his eyes again, lay down on the side on his pillow, and you kind of see him prop the Bark up on the pillow, holding it ever so slightly as if he's looking at you. I really am gonna miss you. Before he takes this big yawn, and the Bark kind of falls over, like face of your caricature face looking up at the ceiling, as he just half awake pats your caricature face and falls asleep there. As you, in the room with your cousins and Sandra and William now, come back to, and William's just hugging you like normal. Okay, are you gonna look at it? This is a very tight hug. Why are you hugging me so tight right now?
He's trying to push you away a little bit.
Orúno sort of pulls the back of his head as his breath instantly sort of becomes more jagged, and he just very closely. I could never forget you, little brother. I could never not remember you. And I promise you, we're going to make up for lost time. Okay?
And you just see like these little tears in his eyes as he's gathered what just happened. Because he knows he didn't utter those words out loud. You're sneaky. It runs in the family. But you
You're not
promise?
wrong. I promise.
Pinky promise?
Double pinky promise.
As you do that, and he either you just dropped him or he's in your arm like this.
He's just that,
Still in
like,
your,
yeah.
in your okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just okay, just I'm slipping. As he latches on.
I love the bracelet. It's really cool.
I used my favorite beads on that one. I mean, he kind of like looks at everyone again, little chest puffed out just a bit, and he wipes his eyes. I love all the bracelets.
Of course. Just has a moment of like just sort of grabbing his cheek lightly, smile at him.
Ugh, you and mom. As his little feet like kind of dangle up in the air.
Right. So he kind of just has a last moment of touching his shoulder, and then you see Orúno sort of take a moment, is looking at William, looks at Sandra, as if there's an inner monologue in there, but then sort of looks down and then turns his attention to Gabriel and Carmen and Myto and Tom. And it's just that thing of, are we ready?
Let's go.
Let's go fuck some shit up.
Go fuck some shit up.
No.
Oh, no,
No.
William.
No?
No,
Yeah,
William, no.
William, say that all the time.
No.
Say it.
Shit
Absolutely
Fuck
not.
He like little fist in the air.
No.
As he stops and like looks back at Sandra, and Sandra's just head in one hand nods as he begins traversing.
Terrible.
outside.
Technically-
As he walks past, Carmen comes in for a high five. Like
And it
And-
just like flips.
Tom, as Tom walks out and passes Sandra, she just kind of shrugs and says, "Technically, he's old enough." And keeps walking.
Myto lingers a bit and tries to catch Orúno's attention as we start walking towards the docks. And there's like this air of guilt and hesitancy of like how to bring this up, and Myto, again, just kind of watching their footsteps one after another, builds up the courage to say, I'm sorry. it's my fault, and I know it's my fault, but I know it's our family's fault. But they look up over their shoulder. I'm sorry.
What do you
I'm
mean?
sorry. and I
talking
hope you
about?
forgive me. When we were trying to take care of Naren, Orúno held the space in a way that probably pushed him over the edge, and I know it's my fault and it's our family's fault, and I'm sorry, Orúno.
Myto, it's not your fault. What I did was my choice. And if it is as you said, that we were chosen for these things, then I'm glad I did. I don't regret it. And I certainly don't blame you.
Okay, if there's anything that I can do once we get back, I owe you, and thank you, and I'm sorry, and I think I'm not supposed to be sorry, but that's just how I feel. I'm trying to get better with communicating how I feel, but thank you. Are you okay? I know that's a loaded question. I'm not okay either.
It's
And
alright. You said if there's anything you can do, and maybe, and you see Orúno look at the rest of the cousins. There may be something you can do.
yeah, anything.
What's the truth about stitches? And you see Orúno go.
So I don't want to take credit for everything, but yes, I did create Stitches, but I have a feeling Stitches has been with our family for a while, and I actually think Stitches likes to be called Frankenstein. I've definitely upgraded him a few. He has opposable thumbs now. He's more agile. And now that I have this cube, modifications will be a lot easier. So that doesn't really answer what Stitches is. Stitches just is, just kind of how we are, but with a little help from whatever goes on in my brain. And that's the best way I can explain it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I can show you the schematics once we get back.
You see Orúno sort of look at the rest of the cousins and goes, I'll take it. Just...
Yeah. Stitches was made for a lot of farm work, a lot of assistance from what I need in the lab, but honestly, I think we could distill them down into possibly a prototype if everybody wanted their own Stitches. But that's for another day. But
The one is fine.
Yeah, I'm good. He's special
Just
enough.
This one stitches in my heart.
okay. Y'all weren't supposed to hear that, but I think yeah. Again, I'm sorry, and
Myto.
thank you, and I owe you, and I know I don't owe you, but I do owe you, and again, thank you, and I'm sorry, and Stitches is Frankenstein, but also not.
You don't know me. It wasn't your fault. I'd do it again if I had to. And thank you for telling me about Stitches.
Can you... I don't know if you can promise me this, but Sandra said that if you overexert yourself, if A leads to B, then you probably shouldn't do A to avoid B. So please, I'm not telling you how to make your decisions, but I don't want to see anything happen to you.
You see Orúno extend a hand to you for a handshake.
Myto awkwardly holds out their hand.
And you
Pinky
see
promise?
he moves, holds the pinky and says, I promise whatever comes next, I'll be more mindful about what I can do.
Okay, that's a fair bet. And I promise, once we get back up, we can have so many research experiments, and we will make sure that your health is all right, and then we can dig deep into every single thing. But yeah, okay, yes, sorry. Thank you, and I'm sorry, but thank you.
And while you guys are talking about mindfulness, maybe you guys can be mindful if you're trying to have a secret conversation, make sure to mute your group chat.
Yeah, didn't want to interject there.
Sorry. You guys are having a private moment.
Wow. I'll give that one to you, Carmen. I didn't realize that group chat just switched back on once we got out of that cave.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I didn't realize until you guys were like, hey, want to have a secret conversation? And then I was like, oh shit, we can hear the secret conversation. Oh.
And to be fair, I only deeply listened in when Stitches came up, so
Tom is standing
helps.
10 yards down that way, just staring. Because I'd walked away, but I could hear everything. I stopped in my tracks and if the camera was on y'all, you see a very blurry Tom in the background, stop and then slowly turn around in the background.
And you just hear Myto say, yeah, Tom, sorry that I didn't turn off the group chat.
It's okay.
Okay. You're also really fast.
I walk fast, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I
impressive.
don't know. Yeah, gay people walk fast. I don't know what to tell you.
We sure
Gay
do.
people walk fast. Okay. I wonder if I'm gay. And he just starts booking it. But trying to keep a
And it's
walking
fine
pace.
if you are.
Happy
We'll
Pride!
accept you.
Especially on this month.
Happy Pride!
You guys see his tiny little legs kind of run walking, speed walking as you realize or you see the dock not too far in front of you and Irasima kind of standing in the middle.
Irasima's standing in the middle?
Yeah, Irasima's waiting for you at the dock.
Oh.
How'd you guys get here?
I think Gabriel. I think Gabriel. Is if Carmen so lets it was holding your hand, it's just patting the back of your hand, and it's just let's get to the surface. Let's get to the surface before we make the underwater witch angry while we're being elevated up. Let's do it when we get to the surface.
I think Carmen gives you a side eye look. It's you're glad you should be lucky I like you.
I know.
Really quick, if Val, if you can roll
Yes.
me
Me?
comfort or support, so roll 2d6 plus mundane, and also
because you're trying to comfort and support right now. Also, if everyone can get rid of one condition, as that was William handing each of you a bracelet.
That's so cute. I'm actually good at mundane, so let's go. Woohoo! That's a 12.
Okay, a 12. So not only I'm guessing Carmen's gonna want to clear a condition instead of marking potential or shifting labels.
Yeah.
Okay, but also because you got a 10 plus Val, you can also either add a team to the pool or my suggestion, clear a condition for yourself.
I'm gonna clear a condition. I
Okay,
love
cool,
you
you're
all.
down
I'm
to
going to
2.
clear a condition.
Cool.
Also, that conversation with Orúno was me trying to do that with Orúno too. Am I able to roll for that?
Absolutely.
Ooh, yeah, that's a 9.
That's a 9. Okay, you can clear a condition, Orúno.
Cool.
Okay. So you guys, either you can take a moment before you get onto the dock or just go onto the dock, but you guys are like 50 feet away from the entrance of the dock where you see Irasima there, like pulling the rope out of her own pocket, and it's starting to glow.
That's all right. I think Orúno, sensing the air with everybody, sort of starts walking toward the dock, like by the entrance. Gives a look to Irasima, but very brief, before turning to the group and sort of doing a very dramatic sort of like after you kind of thing.
Does Gabriel still have his hand on Carmen's hand?
Oh, I would have let go once you're like, you're lucky. You're lucky I like you. He's just like, he just like the last 2 pets of like, I know, and then lets you go.
I think as you try to let go, Carmen grabs it back and goes to link arms with you.
Okay.
And it's like, if I'm holding on to that old bitch's rope, I'm not letting go of you.
Okay. Gabriel nods in understanding and succumbs to the situation he has now put himself in.
And she gives you a little
all his
like
arms.
playful little nudge.
Yeah,
It's like,
we walk.
See, as we're walking, she's like, see, I knew it'd be besties. I just like knew at the airport.
Survivor Alliance, stay strong. Again, from like 10 yards up, because I still have my group hat on. And Tom just says that kind of coyly.
Okay.
Survivor Alliance.
So I will say that as some of you begin to walk in, Irasima doesn't say anything to each of you. She just... But if anybody... Because I'll just give it to everyone. You can see there's a look of confused curiosity on her face. Interpret that as you will, that you have not seen before. As she places the rope into each of your hands. Does anybody not take it? Everybody takes it.
Carmen waits to see what happens when everybody else takes the rope. And if nothing happens, she's like, while like glaring at Irasima, like begrudgingly takes the rope.
Okay. You guys...
Yeah, Tom will take it, but I think has a very set expression on their face. And Tom was the first person to arrive there, so she kind of just stood there and wasn't glaring at her, but it's the kind of closed off, distant look I think that Tom's had on her face pretty much this whole time.
Mhm.
And I think Tom actually put her hand out for the rope. Doesn't say anything, but
Okay.
yeah. Is Yara
Anybody-
here too, or no?
No, Yara's not here. Okay. The rope gets passed down, and you guys, as the doors, like you can hear the glass doors that you walked through to exit out of the city start to like close. You just see William on kind of like standing while he was with you, starting to take a step back. Okay, well, remember, you promised. Looking at Orúno, I don't remember exactly what it was, but fuck it up, he says, looking at Carmen, and he looks at Tamsyn. I think I'm gay. I walked really fast. And then he like kind of just waves to Stitches on the ground as he's walking back and gives you Gabriel and Myto like two big two-hand waves as he steps back towards the door. And you guys see as the door is about to close.
As the
I'm s-
doors. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Gabriel like leans over to you and is like, I'm so sorry. No idea how this happened.
Orúno sort of chuckles, and then he goes, "Hey, cousins, do me a favor. Give them hell." And Orúno actually steps back out the door as it closes right in front of him, as he now stands outside of the dock and the rope.
Hello?
Orúno.
And you guys, Orúno, you hear them yelling out as the water, slower than before, but slowly begins to fill the room.
I understand
Again.
what I must. I understand what I must do. It's okay.
Through the group chat. What the hell does that mean?
I have to make up for lost time. And I think there is more to this than just thinking that it's a curse. I think I can help. And I think I have the right team for it. And he looks at William.
I think Carmen just says, "All right, buddy, fuck shit up."
You and I will still have words about you teaching that to William.
He was gonna learn it anyway.
And Orúno just has a moment where he looks at everybody, takes a moment to look at Myto, gives him a big smile.
You see Myto's trying to smile, but their lips are trembling a little bit. And you see Myto look away, but you hear in a soft voice, we can still do everything that I said above water if you ever make it above water again.
I intend to
care of what-
find. I will. I intend to find answers to what William and I have. And who knows, maybe you'll be able to help us up there. And he turns to Tom. And it's just, there's a moment where he thinks about what to say. And instead, it's just has a moment where he sort of gestures to his face and he goes, "I like it." And then he just goes.
I don't think Tom says anything back. I think she's in her brain trying to figure out what to say because she has so much that she wants to say. And I think everything that she wants to say flows out through her eyes as she keeps your gaze, and I think a couple tears run down her cheeks.
Orúno turns to Carmen. And it's just that moment of, he just smiles. It's a very like amused, thanks for the ride. Kind of like, you're just, girl. It's one of those like, girl. Then he turns to Gabriel. And you can see the gratitude and respect and acknowledgement of you being the first one to bring him into the fold and helping him feel like he was part of the team and the family. And there's an encouragement there of you can do this, and you will continue to do this. And he just takes a step back, hand sort of reaching toward William as he just stands there watching his cousins depart.
You all hear the door open behind you. Is there anything else you guys try to do?
I think Gabriel just I don't know how proficient our little group chat thingy is. If I can't make a quick DM to Orúno, that's fine, everyone can hear it. And I think it's just a, you got this, brother. You're a brother now. Carry that proudly.
Follow me on Instagram.
Take pics on Snapchat.
Myto, with one hand still holding the rope, you see them kind of reaching through their bag of gadgets, and they reach for the cube that they've been storing since the Colosseum, and with one of the sides still darkened off, and 5 of the 6 sides still kind of glowing with that Malen. You see them kind of like jam this dolphin fin into this cube, and as they're doing that, Stitches is right on the bag satchel as well, and anybody that's looking, you can start seeing a fin just kind of start growing out of Stitches' back, and you see Myto again not looking at the group, eyes contact almost to the ground, but holds Stitches close to his chest and gives Stitches one big kiss. And you see Myto snap twice and then gives them one more big hug. And you see Stitches swim through this rising water back towards Orúno. And is going to yell, you there's still 4 more slots in that cube. You and William can figure it out. Experimenting's fun, and also take good care of Stitches.
Orúno sort of is watching this with awe, looking between like him and William, and then hearing you, Myto just looks at you and he just smiles, moved about it, and he nods. His family.
and as Stitches gets closer to where the doors are, you just see them like shake off their fur that's a little damp and wet, and kind of puffed up, and you just see them standing right beside you and William. As we
And you all feel a pull from the rope. Your eyes now turned forward, and it is no longer Irasima at the front, but a river, like the pinkish river dolphin that Irasima has changed into. As you're being pulled now at twice the speed that you all had been pulled before. And the camera follows the four of you led by the dolphin, ascending from the depths of the underwater Cidade das Mares for now the last time. The view behind you is a mesmerizing blend of beauty and melancholy and loss. You see the city's luminous glow gradually diminish as you rise. These like soft blue and green lights casting a light of grief around those still waters you're swimming through. And you see that as the dock becomes smaller and smaller, you now see Orúno with William on his shoulders and a Stitches on William's head, standing. And from the dock, bubbles rising gently, even passing you all by as you are drifting upwards. The bubbles flying past you in a silent farewell. For at this height, you each catch a glimpse of the library with the huge radio next to it, and you see a tiny little Lego-sized hand, which you can only imagine is Sandra's, from outside the house. You see the market square, where you once had your farewell festival, beginning to be bustling again. And as you all ascend further, the city's overall shape becomes more apparent, and you once again see that breathtaking sight of the city nestled in the ocean's embrace. Now, not just a beautiful image, but almost a haunting reminder of the world you are leaving behind, a place of wonder and mystery, now a part of some core memories. You feel the water dark and cold as you begin to rise, and the city becomes just a small, glimmering jewel in the vast ocean expanse beneath you. And looking back, you see the tiniest blip of Orúno's hand waving disappear. A mixture of emotions awaits each of you, whether the sadness of a farewell, gratitude for some experiences, or anticipation and maybe anger for the unknown journey ahead with family members who have not been all that honest. The underwater city, with all its splendor and secrets, has faded from your view. And after some time, you see light through the waters above you, getting brighter and brighter as you feel the warmth of the water envelop you as you break from beneath the surface. You gasp, feeling true oxygen in your chest. But somebody feels something else as the camera begins to fade. You feel something in your pocket that wasn't there before, Carmen. As we end this episode right here. As I'd like to thank all of my lovely players for such an episode. I'm like leaning back as if I'm running away.
You'd think I would learn by now this cliffhanger of Kris. I'd never learn.
You're naughty. You're naughty.
We are going to outro as we usually do. Starting with the I love it, Jay. Going backwards with Nala, tell us where we can find you.
This zoomed in, please, forever. You can't zoom back out.
You can't zoom back out. You gotta do the outro like that now.
Yep.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nala, or Jay. My pronouns are they, them. What the fuck? I'm on Twitter at Nalawoo and everywhere else at Naladraws. Yeah. Who am I? I don't know. I am the art director at Hunters Entertainment and also some other cool projects that may or may not be announced soon. Also I do art, illustration stuff, character work, whatever. You can see my art on nulladraws.com. Hire me to do art or layout or graphic design branding or just stuff. I like making cool art and would love to make cool art with you. Besides art, I do voice acting and sensitivity consulting and actual play stream performance like this. You should watch me in stuff like this show. I don't know. Wow. Itaewon by Night is an all Asian cast playing Vampire the Masquerade. There's 2 seasons out, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, I play a boss bitch in Viridian Song. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm rattled from the end of that. What the heck? What the heck? What? Yeah, it's okay. Gabriel, my brother, go.
Oh, well, it's me. But before I get to introducing myself, first of all, Chris, when I get you, Chris, Big Bad Con is coming. When I get you, Chris.
Dang, I think something
Fuck you,
happened with my flight.
affectionate. Fuck you, affectionate. With all the affection, well, fuck you. How dare you? Anyways, hi everyone. I'm Valiant Dorian. I use he and his pronouns. You can find me all around the internet at Valiant Dorian or at Also Spirit Bear. Please enjoy that lovely treasure I just set you on. And tonight it's been my distinct pleasure of playing your favorite big brother, Gabriel Zhao, who uses he, they pronouns and is using the Scion playbook. You can find me on all the socials I just told you about, but you can also find me on Transplanar RPG, Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, where I play Sayir, the misbeloved twin brother of the Chosen One. We're currently on hiatus, but hopefully when this comes out, we'll be well into Arc 3, so please keep an eye out for that. There are a ton of other actual play projects that'll be happening, so just keep an eye on my socials for that. On Mondays on my own Twitch channel, I run a TTRPG talk show called Dicey Banner, where I talk to the makers and shakers in the TTRPG space and have fun, meaningful conversations while we're at it. So come and check me out over there. And I'm also designing my first ever massive project TTRPG called The Beast Within. It is reminiscent of 80s and 90s grunge fighting games, narrative first action RPG where you play werbeasts. That's your jam. If you want to find out what your persona is, that's what the game is designed to do. And join us as we play our little furries in a action RPG. And with that, I'm gonna pass introductions over to Victor.
Hello, everybody. I am Victor. I use pronouns he, him, and I had the delightful and amazing pleasure to play the wonderful Orúno Munín, who started as an outsider who thought himself to have a very small family, only to discover at the end that the amount that he found in his cousins were the best he could have asked for. And I am incredibly grateful for this amazing journey with everybody here. If you want to find me on social media, Victor_ the Story Weaver on TikTok, and you can find any other little crumbs to go other places from there. Yes, and I will pass it now to the brains of the family, our beloved Danny.
Hey y'all, my name is Danny. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me all over the internet at Brutal Dan. That's BR00TALDAN. I have the pleasure of playing your gender expansive brainiac of a awkward cousin, Myto, who has just given up probably the only constant ever in their life, Stitches, to To Orúno, the only person who is probably very scared of of Stitches. So let's see how that works out. Again, you can find me all over the internet, Brutal Dan. I am a game developer, writer, designer, and I also run a Substack called Digital Thickness with 2 C's, where I talk about digital marketing and community building, social media trends, and try to disseminate information just in case it helps you out on your own journey into games. And I will pass it over to our influencer, Carmen Pereira.
Hashtag not sponsored. Hello, my name is Clare. I have had a great time playing Carmen Pereira today. Her pronouns also she, her. You can find me on Twitch at Claire_witchbaby. No I. I play The Sims and a bunch of other roleplay stuff there. We're getting back into GTA Online roleplay, where I also play a character called Carmen, but Carmen's San Francisco. She's a crime podcaster. Check her out. And that's it. That's all I got.
And I am Kris, aka D&D Imposter, and I have been your lovely game master for the evening. Reminder: we are giving out the physical copy of the Mask TTRPG system that we are playing with. So if you want to break people's hearts, like Victor just did tonight, definitely check us out at Tabletop Tempest on Twitter to find out how to enter that. But we will see you. Most of us will see you next week for our season finale.
Are you not gonna be here?
Wah!
I stepped back.
That's rude, honestly, of you.
What?
See what happens
have-
next week.
Bye, I guess.
Bye, everybody.